Relied heavily on Tyrese Maxey because he answered the call without Joel Embiid, dropping 31 points and adding 6 dimes. Rookie VJ Edgecombe also came up big. He had a double-double, 19 points and 11 boards for him. Philadelphia took care of Orlando, 109-97. You heard the crowd yelling, "We want Boston," last night. Well, guess what? That is just what you will get. A Celtics team that has won 9 out of their last 11 games. Congratulations. How intriguing now is this series between Philadelphia and Boston?
Much better than it would have been if it was Orlando. So, I mean, from that standpoint, you have a, natural rival. They played a million times. I mean, it's the second best rivalry in the history of the NBA after Sixers, after Lakers and Celtics. It's the next one. They play, Chamberlain, Russell, Bird, Julius. You go on and on and on. I mean, it's a great rivalry. Now, I don't think Philadelphia's going to beat Boston. We don't know where Embiid is. But, Philadelphia's got some, listen, they got a good backcourt. George is in and out of these games sometimes, but they still have him. They feel comfortable with the Celtics. Embiid, maybe he plays in the middle of that first round. We'll have to wait and see with his surgery there when he might be available. Although when he is available, you never know with him. He might play 20 minutes, and so that may not mean that much anyway. But as far as the NBA is concerned, Philly-Boston is box office. That series has juice because it's the historical aspect of that series. And one thing on Orlando, before I throw it to Steve. Orlando, for years, has been in a million lotteries. Suggs, Banchero, Dwight Howard, and they never do anything. Every single year, they've had lottery picks for 100 years, and they have never been able to sustain anything. They're liable to lose to Charlotte in a couple days. They make trains for Bane. He has a huge game last night. It's funny about the Magic. They have not been a factor. I know they had the 1 year with Howard getting to the final with Stan, but since they lost Shaq, they've been a mess. I kept on thinking about that last night with the Magic.
I love you, right? Like you're my favorite person. Paolo Banchero.
Banchero, I said Banchero.
I love my favorite. My favorite is when Doggy just throws a little doggyism in there on some names.
Yeah, but I do that all the time anyway.
Yeah.
Sooner or later.
You can count on Doggy getting the name wrong. You can count on Doggy getting the name wrong. That's just what he does. That's just what he does. It's cool.
A little carefully.
But aren't I right, Steve, about the Magic? Sooner or later, maybe you like to see them win 55 games and be a factor in the Eastern Conference for crying out loud. Mike, how many draft picks do you want?
No question. No question about it. Banchero can play, but they got to be better. They got to be better, and they've been a disappointment for the Boston Celtics to bench their top 7 players last Sunday, and for you to lose to them anyway, knowing that you would be in the position you would have hosted the game in Orlando for the play-in. Had you won that game, and to lose that and to have to go to Philly and then lose that game, it's definitely an indictment against the Boston because we ain't too interested in that. Philadelphia, Boston, that's definitely something that's traditional, it's historic. We look forward to that, but let's be very, very clear. Philly fans will regret saying we want Boston. You're not beating the Boston Celtics. And let's put this in perspective as well. This is the 12th straight year Boston is in the playoffs. Longest streak in the NBA by about 4 years, compared to anybody else, okay? This is a Boston Celtics team that parted ways with 4 of its top 8 players. And they still finished as a number 2 seed. With Jason Tatum missing 62 games, they still ended up being a top 2 seed in the Eastern Conference with their secondary star in Jaylen Brown emerging as a league MVP candidate because Jason Tatum was out for those 62 games. That's the Boston Celtics team we're talking about. This is par for the course for them. They ain't worried. They ain't fazed. They are in the slightest by the Philadelphia 76ers. Tyrese Maxey is going to have to be spectacular in this series. VJ Edgecombe and Paul George is going to have to add some assistance because nobody thinks that Joel Embiid is going to be available because of the appendectomy or whatever the hell it was that he's going through. You have those issues. And Philadelphia is formidable and better offensively when Joel Embiid is in the lineup. If he's not expected to be in the lineup, if he's not going to be there, the task is even that much more daunting because they were going to beat Philly with Embiid on the court. So you damn sure know they ain't going to lose to Philly without Embiid on the court. That's the situation involving the Boston Celtics right now against the Philadelphia 76ers, but we still should be happy that we have this series because it brings back a lot of memories, and if Philly can manage to win a couple of games in this series, we'll all walk away winners because it would have been a decent series if they had done that.
100%. I think that would be the number. Steve just hit it. I think if Philly can win 2 games, they did a heck of a job. So let's hope for a game 6 down the road in that series.
So Philly will have 3 days off, and then they could potentially have 8 days off for their first home game of this playoff series against the Celtics, who, by the way, have won 15 of their 22 playoff series against the 76ers. I shouldn't make fun of you with names. I butchered one yesterday.
He had the leverage, milked them for all the money he has milked them for, nearly $300 million, and has nothing but 3 playoff series wins to show for it. And oh, by the way, none of which have come in the last 5 years. That is the legacy of Kawhi Leonard in a Clippers uniform. And that is why Clippers Nation and basketball fans everywhere who know a thing or two about the Clippers are looking at it and saying, excuse me, this brother is doing extension. You better not give him another one. Let him go somewhere else. We know that he can help anybody because he's a superstar player on the court when available. But you never know when his availability is going to be there. And you damn sure know he ain't going to help market your franchise. All you got to rely upon is his greatness as a player. And that is compromised by an absence of availability tantamount to 40% of missed games during the regular season and 30% of missed games during the playoffs. I don't know about anybody else, but that ain't an investment I'm trying to make.
I get it, Steve, but what do you want them to do? I mean, what's the solution? They play in a huge market.
Move on.
To get what player,
wait a minute.
Steve?
Wait.
Who's coming
Move on.
to the Clippers?
Listen, Doggy, what I'm trying to say to you is this. Based on the level of production, what you got to lose? He ain't going home. He ain't been home in the first. He ain't been in the playoffs twice. And he been out in the first round 3 of those 5 years. What you got to lose? It's been 5 years of futility. What you got to lose? Why not start new? Why not paint a new vision if you're Steve Ballmer, if you're Lawrence Frank, and people like that? Why not paint a new vision for the Los Angeles Clippers? Start anew, because you can do that with anybody. You don't need paying him an average of $41 million. You understand, to get the results you get? You can get those results from somebody at half the price. Why not?
Well, money is not the issue because it's a cap thing and they got more money than God. You got to fill the arena up. You got to be somewhat active in L.A. You don't have a draft pick.
Ain't nobody walking through the turnstiles because of Kawhi Leonard.
Well, what do you want me to do, Steve?
Let me be very, very clear. Kawhi Leonard, even though he's a great player, he ain't a box office player. You ain't rolling through the turnstiles to see him play. Oh my God, I got to go see Kawhi Leonard tonight. No, you're not. That's not what you're doing. You're literally going to see the Clippers. You're going to see LeBron James. You're going to see Steph Curry. You're going to see Ant-Man. You're going to see people like that. You ain't going to the turnstiles to see Kawhi Leonard. You're going through the turnstiles to watch the Clippers. Ask the Clippers fans. Ask them. Ain't nobody getting out of their way to walk through the turnstiles to see him.
Hey, but you want to be competitive, Steve. You got to be competitive. He makes you competitive. I'm sorry.
No, for a while you weren't even